Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about Maitatsine sects, which was the deadliest religious group in Nigeria before Boko Haran. Nigeria indeed experienced so much crisis, pre-independence and post-independence. Some crisis has to do with political, such as Biafra war, and others has to do with ethnicity, while some has to do with religious extremism. Maitatsine crisis was the first religious crisis that claimed thousands of lives in Nigeria. We are going to revisit the crisis, what the word Maitatsine means, how the crisis started, how many lives did it consume, how did it end it, and many more questions begging answers. The Maitatsine sect was founded by Muhammad Marwa in the late 1970s in the city of Kano, Nigeria. Marwa was a charismatic preacher who attracted large following with his fiery sermons. The word Maitatsine is a Hausa word which means the one who cursed, and it reflected to his curse-laden public speeches against anyone who didn't believe what he was preaching. He claimed to be a prophet in Islam. He preached a radical interpretation of Islam that rejected Western influences. He was originally from Marwa in northern Cameroon. After his education, he moved to Kano, Nigeria in about 1945, where he became known for his controversial preachings on the Quran. Maitatsine spoke against the use of radios, watches, bicycles, cars, and the possession of money than necessary. He was sent to an exile, but he returned to Kano shortly after independence. By the year 1972, he had a notable and increasingly militant following known as Maitatsine. In 1975, he was again arrested by Nigerian police for slander and public abuse of political authorities. But in that period, he began to receive acceptance. As his following increased in the 70s, so did the number of confrontations between his adherents and police. His preaching attracted large following of youth, unemployed migrants, and those who felt that the mainstream Muslim teacher were not doing enough for their communities. By 18 December 1980, continued Maitatsine attacks on other religious figures and police forced the Nigerian army to become involved. Initially, the police were the only ones involved in the clashes with the Maitatsine sect. They fought for 12 days but were unable to defeat them. The military was subsequently called in, and the clashes continued for several more days. The violence resulted in the death of around 5,000 people, including the sect leader Maitatsine. Maitatsine died shortly after sustaining injuries to his leg in the clashes. His followers buried him hastily, but the Nigerian police exhumed the body and displayed it to the media. They also invited Maitatsine's third wife, called Zainab, to identify the body, and she confirmed the body. The police cremated Maitatsine's remains, which are now kept in a bottle at a police laboratory in Bompai, Kano State. After that, the police arrested many of the Maitatsine's followers. The federal and Kano State government established committees to investigate the incidents. On October 1st, 1982, the authorities released the arrested Maitatsine members who were Nigerian citizens. Those who were not Nigerian citizens were deported to their home countries. The crisis appeared to be over, but unknown to security forces, another outbreak was imminent. On October 26, 1982, a new outbreak of Maitatsine crisis occurred in Bulunkutu, Borno State. The crisis lasted for 4 days and resulted in the death of more than 3,500 people, according to government sources. 2 days later, another outbreak began in Rigasa, Kaduna State. There was a period of relative peace for 2 years until February 27, 1984, when another deadly Maitatsine crisis broke out in Jimeta, Adamawa State. The leaders of this crisis were Maitatsine leader of Adamawa State called Musa Makaniki, Borno, and Bagobri Yawuri. The crisis claimed the lives of more than 1,000 people, destroying more than half of the houses in Jimeta, and burned down its central markets. Nigerian president at that time, Muhammadu Buhari, visited the scenes of the violence. Musa Makaniki, the leader of the sect in Adamawa, escaped to neighboring Cameroon. A year later, on April 29, 1985, a fresh crisis broke out in Pantami, Gombe State, killing more than 100 people. The leader of the sects in that area, Yusuf Adamu, also escaped. Since then, there have been no major Maitatsine crisis, but there have been smaller incidents. In 2004, Musa Makaniki returned to Nigeria from Cameroon. He was arrested by security forces upon his arrival. He was tried in 2006 and sentenced to life imprisonment in Yola prison. However, he was released by an appellate court in May 2012, which ruled that he had not been proven guilty of all the charges against him. Maitatsine sect was deadly and destructive group that caused a great deal of suffering in Nigeria. Its legacy continues to be felt today, and it is a reminder of the dangers of religious extremism. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this video informative. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.